Now, Iran and the United States have announced a deal to exchange 11 prisoners. Under the agreement, Tehran will release 4 detainees, including American-Iranian journalist Jason Rezaian. He has been held for the past year after being convicted of espionage in a trial that was held behind closed doors. Now, Iran's state media says the US will free 7 Iranian prisoners. Well, Reza Marashi is a research director of the National Iranian-American Council and joins us now from Washington. Reza, good to speak to you this evening. How important is the release of these 4, would you say?
I don't think you can overstate the importance when prisoners from Iranian cells have been released. It's a triumph of diplomacy, and it shows, quite frankly, that if the U.S. and Iran sit down at the same negotiating table over an extended period of time, the possibility increases that they can resolve a variety of problems that have been outstanding for quite some time.
Now, Jason, Reza, we've obviously been talking about Jason and his release, the Washington Post journalist. What kind of experience has this been like for him and for his family?
I can't even begin to imagine what it's been like for Jason and his family. Saying that it's been difficult and it's been an injustice doesn't even begin to cover it. I think the important thing now is that whatever negative term you use to describe it, that's over, and he's going to be reunited with his family. That's the most important thing at the end of the day, is because you got somebody who, in my view, never did anything in the first place, that's now going to get to resume his life, put things back together, and we can only hope for the best.
Well, Reza, what does this tell us about the ongoing and future relationship, do you think, between the US and Iran?
That's a great question. I think we are in uncharted waters right now. And I don't think you're going to see the US and Iran become allies or best friends anytime soon. Despite the extremely positive momentum that we've seen in recent weeks, months, and even today, there's still a lot of outstanding issues on which the two countries disagree. The saving grace is that you don't need to be friends or allies to discuss those issues and potentially resolve them at the negotiating table. You can be competitors or rivals and work together when your interests overlap tactically or strategically, and work against one another when they don't. And I'm hoping and I'm thinking that that's the direction that US-Iran relations could very well be moving towards.
Or perhaps down a similar track. I mean, do you see there being a slight pivot by the US and a change of their mindset when it comes to Iran?
I think you're seeing a slight changing of minds in Washington and in Tehran. We've seen countless examples over the past few decades where political individuals in both countries thought, we can't talk to these guys, we can never do business with these guys. And you're starting to see those barriers fall down one by one. And that's extremely positive because, again, it means at the end of the day, even when disagreements exist, there's a direct channel to ensure that those differences can be discussed in a good faith effort to avoid the worst possible outcome, which is a military confrontation between the two countries.
Well, Reza Marashi there from the National Iranian-American Council. We have to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining us.